Hi everyone. The Reserve Bank in Australia hiked their cash rate yesterday by 25 basis points up to 3.6%. That's the highest it's been since pre-pandemic days. So no big surprises here. It was largely expected across the board. The only potential surprise there is the softening in tone in commentary from the Reserve Bank there. So their view is that inflation has peaked. They still have some concerns around services inflation. Really, that's driven by wage growth and the tightness of the labour market. That's a pretty consistent theme across developed country central banks at the moment. The overall view, or certainly the tone, is that their rate hike cycle may be coming to an end. So that's already led to speculators, commentators over there making observations around the property market, for example. So there's been some commentary around the property market potentially getting a bounce off this. But I guess we'll wait and see, is my view. So other data over the last few days. So the Australian Financial Review over there commissioned a study recently that looked at mortgage holders and spending, and that indicated that as many as 90% of mortgage holders in Australia have started to pull back on spending as a result of rate hikes, of interest rate rises. So that's been in the sort of usual category, or the categories that you'd expect. So discretionary spending, travel and entertainment and dining out, things like that. But also seeing pullback in areas like groceries, so core categories as well. Now this sort of gels with commentary from both Coles and Woolworths, so big supermarket chains in Australia. Their financial results last month, they both talked about they're seeing shoppers substitute spending from premium categories to cheaper categories. So, general pullback in expenditure across the board there. So that's kind of largely to be expected as a result of these interest rate rises we've seen. Interestingly, that conflicts with commentary from the Bank of America CEO, who was in Australia this week for an AFR Business Summit. So his commentary was around retail data that the BOA sees in the States, still remaining very strong in January and February. So they're not seeing the same sort of level of pullback in the States as we are in, or as they are in Australia. Messy data, I think, is to be expected at the moment. I think it's also a good sort of indication or a good example of how data can differ from country to country as well. So, Australia is probably slightly further behind in their rate cycle than some other countries. They were less affected by inflation earlier on last year compared to us here or the States. And I think that it's to be expected to see data vary quite significantly from country to country moving forward. So implications from here. What happens in Australia doesn't necessarily happen here. The two countries, while they're very similar in a lot of ways, they're also very different in a lot of ways. I don't know that there's necessarily any sort of big revelations here for us in New Zealand. The Reserve Bank here at the Monetary Policy Statement Review last week or the week before talked about similar themes. So talked about ongoing labour market tightness, talked about the expectations that rates would need to continue for the short term, sort of reaffirmed their view that they expect the OCR peak to land in the mid-fives, there or thereabouts. So don't see any major changes there. I think it's going to be an interesting year, is my view. Really looking to the labour market to see how that holds up. Certainly we are seeing anecdotal evidence from clients that they're being affected by these interest rate rises and by inflation. So we're certainly seeing people becoming quite concerned about the cost of their mortgage payments going up so materially this year, and really starting to plan for that. So anecdotally at this stage, speaking with other advisors, speaking with product providers, KiwiSaver providers, no major signs of stress at the moment, but everyone is watching very, very closely. So that's us for now. See you next time. Now, I just wanted to touch on one last thing before I go. I wanted to read a comment from Warren Buffett's 2022 Berkshire Hathaway shareholder letter. So Warren Buffett says that he firmly believes that near-term economic and market forecasts are worse than useless. Their job is to manage their operations and finance in a manner that will achieve an acceptable result over time. So I think it's a pithy statement, but I think it's one that's very much worth remembering at the moment. So there's a lot of economic market financial data that's flying around, a lot of commentary, a lot of media observations and commentary on the implications of things, including from yours truly. But I think that it is worth remembering that by and large, the vast majority of people out there, of data out there, commentary out there, opinions out there, really are just opinions. So there really is very little way of knowing what's going to happen tomorrow, or the next day, or the week after that, or the month after that. So what I think is important is focusing on fundamentals, focusing on the long term, and sticking to strategy. So make sure you've got your short term looked after. So I think it's appropriate to build buffers. It's appropriate to plan for the worst. And make sure you're looked after from a short-term point of view, but very much, avoid being overly reactive and keep focusing on the long term, and trust the long-term fundamentals and long-term principles will play out. So that's been the Buffett playbook since day one, and I think it's very much appropriate and a good reminder for today. So that's it for now. See you next time.